Hey New Orleans, Sergeant DeMasi here. I am a few days late on this video. I recorded one, posted it, and it did not go through. So forgive me. But here is my video talking about my first year in the Army. So I'm going to cover basic training, Army Job School or AIT, and then leaving home and going to my first duty station in Korea. So let's jump right in. Hey, y'all know I joined the Army at 33, married, 3 kids. So I left my family home in Florida and I left for basic training back in 2010, and that was in Fort Knox, Kentucky. We don't do basic training there anymore. Be lucky. Anyway, so arriving there, I was the old man. All I did was run to get in shape to join the Army, so I was still kind of weak in the push-ups, sit-ups, and some of those strength kind of things. But I survived, and I graduated probably in the top 25% of my class, mainly because I was fast and I'm pretty smart, so I did pretty good. There were some real challenges being away from my family, adjusting to Army lifestyle and rules was difficult, right? But it's short term. It's going to be over before you know it, so no big deal. And in fact, it was harder when I went through than it is today, in the sense that now at the end of each of the 3 training phases, you get your cell phone for some time to call, get on social media, talk to your family and friends, where I had a call from a payphone and we only had about 2 to 3 minutes of phone call time, and you had to dial with a calling card, which took forever. So bonus, training's all the same. We still do the same stuff. I had never fired a weapon before until I went to basic training. I had never rappelled off of a building with a rope before till I did it at basic training. I learned how to work in an Army team. I played, team sports in high school, volleyball. I worked in some business teams in my career, but working in an Army team, you have to really learn to trust that everybody's doing their part to get across the finish line. So that's what basic training is. And then when you graduate, you are a soldier. So that was awesome. Graduation, ceremony, feels good, rah, rah, moved on. I took a bus ride from Fort Knox, Kentucky over to Fort Lee, Virginia for my job school portion, or Advanced Individual Training, AIT for short. And that was 12 weeks long to learn how to become an Army mechanic. As I said in previous videos, I work on small equipment, heaters, water pumps, and things like that. So awesome part of AIT. I was no longer living in this big open bay, bunk bed kind of room, smaller, more private. So I was in a 3-man room with a private bathroom. So that was really a nice improvement. We had Wi-Fi for evenings and weekends after study hours. So I was able to communicate with my family every single day, which was great. So the job portion, right? I had to learn how to become an Army mechanic, so we went to school for that, and it was pretty much 80% school and 20% Army working out stuff. The classroom portion was simple, broken down, so everybody builds the strong foundation they need to do their job. So for me, it was learning how to read schematics and understanding the principles of engines and motors and things like that. Then we got to the hands-on portion, and we started with the simplest piece of equipment that they had and moved up week after week to more complicated pieces of equipment. And we did classroom, read the schematics, practice, understand it, go out onto the production floor, put our hands on the equipment, follow the wires, figure it out. So really great training. And I made some good friends, and I got some downtime while I was in that job school portion. It was during the summertime, so 4th of July happened. Thankfully, no COVID crap going on back then, so my family was able to come up and actually visit me. And I spent the weekend, doing normal stuff, right? I went to a 4th of July concert and watched a fireworks show, so pretty great. AIT graduation, special, but not as awesome as, basic training graduation where you become a soldier. And then towards the end of that training, I got my orders to go to Korea. So I went home to Florida for 10 days, visited with my family, decompressed, packed up some stuff, and then I took that around the world flight to Korea. Amazing. I never left the United States before, except for when I was like a 5-year-old kid. I went to Canada. Excuse me. They arrived in Korea, and the Army takes care of everything for us. So like, met us at the airport, took a shuttle bus to the Army base, stayed at the Army base near the airport for one night because it was late, and then we drove to the in-processing place at another small base. Got all my in-processing done, make sure that I didn't need any shots or any of that kind of stuff. Got all my Army gear issued to me that I needed for the cold weather in Korea that, got to be ready for. So, and then I got assigned to my first unit. And when I arrived at my unit, met my first, real boss in the Army, right? Staff Sergeant Contreras. So he was my squad leader, and he was in charge of the ground support equipment team that I worked in. And we had about 8 soldiers, and I learned the fundamentals of my job, building upon what I just learned at the job school, just a few weeks prior. So it was perfect and easy. So being in Korea, I left my family home in Florida, so I was doing that separation thing. So, lots of FaceTime calls and, emails and mailing letters and sending packages back and forth to keep that communication going. So, what can I say about my first year? It was a massive change to my life and a amazing experience becoming a soldier, making new friends, and starting that career. So life is all about change. So you shouldn't be surprised that when you do this, things are going to change, but you're not giving up who you are. I'm still the same person. I just have added so many new things to my personality, to my career set, to my thinking that I didn't have before. And you can do the same thing. So I hope you listen to this and maybe feel inspired to ask some questions about how you can do it, or watch some of the videos from my teammates and see what their experience was like for their first year in the Army. Our next video series, we coming at you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Hopefully I make it on time. Is going to be about leaving home and that adjustment period. So I think we're going to spend a little more time talking about that part. Hey, thanks for listening, New Orleans. If you have questions, slide up in them DMs, call or text me at 504-421-9114, or come by the office here at 514 City Park Avenue. We're in the plaza with Subway and Burger King, right across from Delgado College. We are here to help you understand what the Army is all about and how it can help you live the life that you want to live. So that's what we're here for. Hit us up. Have a great weekend.